Chapter 10. Light and Shadow. Read on. Light. Light is an invisible source of energy that creates a sensation of vision. Light from a source travels in a straight line. This property of light to travel in a straight line is called rectilinear propagation of light. Kinds of objects. Different objects allow different amount of light to pass through them. Depending on the amount of light that can pass through objects, objects can be grouped as follows. Opaque objects. Objects through which light cannot pass at all are called opaque objects. Opaque objects form clear and dark shadows. A pencil, a book, wood, etc. are examples of opaque objects. Translucent objects. Objects through which light can pass partially are called translucent objects. Translucent objects form faint shadows. Plastic sheet, frosted glass, and butter paper are examples of translucent objects. Transparent objects. Objects through which light can pass totally are called transparent objects. Transparent objects do not form shadows. Clean air, clean water, and transparent paper are examples of transparent objects. Shadow. A dark region formed by an opaque or translucent object when it blocks light is called shadow. Things needed to form a shadow. 3 things are essential for a shadow to be formed: a source of light, an opaque object, a surface, screen on which the shadow is formed. Blow your mind. Will a translucent or opaque object form a darker shadow? Formation of shadows. Shadow is a dark region formed behind the object through which light cannot pass. It is important to note that shadows are always formed opposite to the source of light. Shadows are always black in color. The size of a shadow varies when the distance between the source of light and object is changed. A shadow shows only the shape or outline of an object. Length of shadow. You must have noticed that the size of your shadow keeps changing during the daytime. Your shadow is long in the mornings and evenings because the rays of sun are slanting. The size of your shadow is smallest at noontime when the sun is overhead. This is because the rays of the sun have to travel the shortest distance. A fact: as the sun moves westwards, the direction of the shadow moves eastwards. Earth and its movements. The earth shows 2 types of movements. Rotation. It is the movement of the earth on its own axis. The earth takes 24 hours to complete one rotation. Rotation of the earth causes day and night. The part of the earth that faces the sun has day, while the part away from it has night. Revolution. It is movement of the earth around the sun. The earth takes 365 and 1/4 days to complete one revolution. Revolution of earth causes seasons. Eclipses. An eclipse is a shadow formed in space that makes the sun or the moon invisible for some time. You have learned that the sun is a star and is fixed in position. The earth revolves around the sun, and the moon revolves around the earth. When the sun, earth, and the moon come in a straight line, an eclipse occurs. Eclipses are of 2 kinds. A solar eclipse occurs when the moon comes between the sun and the earth. The moon casts its shadow on the earth. People on some parts of the earth cannot see the sun. A solar eclipse can be total or partial. A total solar eclipse occurs when the sun cannot be seen at all. A partial solar eclipse occurs when a part of the sun can be seen. Lunar eclipse. A lunar eclipse occurs when the earth comes between the sun and the moon. The earth's shadow falls on the moon. People on the earth cannot see the moon. A lunar eclipse occurs on a full moon night. A partial lunar eclipse occurs when the moon is partially hidden. A total lunar eclipse occurs when the moon is totally hidden. Quick recall. Depending on the amount of light that can pass through it, objects can be grouped as opaque, translucent, or transparent. A shadow is formed when light falls on an opaque object and cannot pass through it. Shadows are formed on the side opposite to the source of light and are always black in color. The shape of the shadow is similar to the object. The size of the shadow varies with the position of the source of light. Shadows are also formed in space when the sun, the moon, and the earth come in a straight line. Eclipses are of two kinds, lunar and solar eclipse. The earth shows two types of movements, rotation and revolution. Rotation of earth causes day and night formation. Revolution of earth causes seasons. New words. Opaque objects. Objects through which light cannot pass at all. Translucent objects. Objects through which light can pass partially. Shadow. A dark image of an object that is formed when light cannot pass through it. Eclipse. A shadow formed in space that makes the sun or moon invisible for some time. Rotation. Movement of the earth on its own axis. Revolution. Movement of earth around the sun. Lunar eclipse. An eclipse in which the earth casts its shadow on the moon. Solar eclipse. An eclipse in which the moon casts its shadow on the earth.